This is episode 52 of the KMBest podcast with Gerry Thompson. Gerry quite astutely pointed out that we must be stupid or missing a number somewhere, because to actually start a podcast like Thanksgiving weekend, we have to be some sort of next level egocentrist white guys, right? Like that's some kind of, it speaks to some emptiness in our souls, I suspect.
I feel like people could have already nailed me with that. You know, they clocked me with that a long time ago.
Sure. I have more podcasts than you though, so by definition, I would argue I am more soulless.
I mean, I kind of still have 3. How many do you have?
I guess that's true. I mean, yeah, no, I guess I've been, this is what we're gonna, I've been out podcasted. You got it. You beat me. You need to go get some.
I thought I was.
Yeah.
Me and Niall haven't recorded in like 3 months, but
that counts.
We haven't had a conversation about like, oh, the podcast has ended, you know?
Sure. I mean, by those standards, we could count the snapshot, right? Because technically we never had a conversation about how that ended. It was just like, hey man, do you think you're ever going to be free to do another one? And he was like, maybe if something happens, and then we haven't talked since. But that does technically mean do we get to grandfather that one in? Do I get to be on equal standing as a sort of general dirtbag?
I think Niall and I are more along the line of like, we both want to continue doing this if our lives permit, but she is doing rad things and I'm just playing ball pit for 12 hours a day. So
I was wondering how long it would be before you mentioned ball pit. Like I feel like it wasn't going to be a very long time before that came up. I have been for 12 hours a day watching football like a red-blooded American male, you know? That's what I've been doing. By which I mean I turn on NFL Red Zone and sometimes kind of fall asleep. That's my Sunday. But
America.
But we actually have quite a lot to talk about in this episode, I fear. And I fear even more, it is related to Marvel Snap. There is a whole new season coming out, what I am tentatively calling the Weapon X season. And we got a bunch of cards to talk about. There's a lot of actual cards to talk about here.
I'm in danger because the ball pit happened and I am not even close to completing my season pass.
Oh no. Have you ever failed to hit 50 on a season pass before?
Like once.
That's crazy.
But normally I'm doing a mad scramble at the end, like, oh shit. There apparently there was some discard 700 cards that I never did.
That's actually exactly. I had to go into, in order to complete the discard quest, I had to go into Sanctum. I was like, I'm not playing this on ladder, dude. I'm going to go into Sanctum and play MODOK. And shockingly, it worked because Sanctum is, I don't know. I think there's a pretty hot competition for worst game mode. You know what I mean? Like a lot of things where it's just like, is this the worst game mode that they've ever made? And to me, I think High Voltage is getting graded on a curve that is unfair here, which is the game mode is fun, but it's the only one they don't let you pay 800 gold to skip, which makes it the worst game mode by default for me. So True. That's the biggest problem, I think. It's like, if High Voltage had like a let me skip this and not actually deal with it, it would be the best game mode. But it doesn't, so it's the worst game mode. And then outside of that, it's like, I don't love Sanctum. Grand Arena is the best game mode, and I guess Deadpool's Diner is too, I guess.
Is that even a game mode? Does that count?
Legally, I think it counts, yeah. I believe it does count. But I would say Deadpool's Diner with the remake they gave it, and then OG Deadpool's Diner, not actually a game mode.
I think Sanctum is and would be fine if we were not playing it our 3rd or 4th time and it had not been, I don't know, figured out like, oh, you should play Rocket. It's like, oh, well, now we have to ban Rocket.
You should
okay, well,
Scar.
Now you should play Black Cat. Yep. It's just like, okay.
You should play a Scar deck, and that's the metagame. That's what you should do. Go play a Scar deck. And it's like, all right, Great. Fun.
I think Scar itself is actually banned now. But like the Scar deck minus Scar is still good.
You just play 10s. 10s are good.
Yeah. No Scar necessary.
It turns out that 10s are good. Also, I don't think Scar is banned. So
no, maybe it was like Surtur is banned. Maybe that's what it was.
If they like, I don't think that's true either, but also it would be insanely funny for them to do that because that's not even good, right? Like the ones that matter are Star Brand and then the 410s. Banning
is it
Surtur,
still up?
Yeah, it's still up. Banning Surtur is like that would be a very dumb move, in my humble opinion. A very dumb move. You hit Star Brand, sure. But Surtur, I'm out. That's not even like one of the good threes. I think none of what you're talking about has actually happened. You're just assuming it happened because it feels obvious, and it's not. I regret to inform you that they haven't even made those changes.
Surtur and Call Obsidian are banned.
Interesting. I didn't notice Surtur was banned because I've been playing Scar decks the entire time and it hasn't mattered at all. None of that has mattered. That is a really useless ban.
Banned Gomorrah. Get out.
I think that one could probably get unbanned if I had to guess. Anyway, yeah, I'm not playing a ton of Sanctum. It's mid.
I played, I think, 0.
Nice.
So
Hydra Man is a card that I've actually been pretty happy with, in the sense of like it kind of sucks, but it does very fun things. And I think that's like a nice. No,
it's cool. It's a cool card. I was for a brief moment I was scared. I was like, "What the hell were you doing? Where you were hydro-manning?"
I mean, it's like in like a tier 2-ish ramp deck, which is basically just like playing Arishem at home. But that's fun. That's like a cool little thing.
Yeah. But when did KM become ramp guy? I thought.
Oh, yeah.
First, you're telling me Surtur is not banned in Sanctum, and obviously I know it is.
Right. Let's ignore the Scar part earlier. We won't call that a draw.
I knew a card or two from that deck were banned. It happened to be Call Obsidian and Surtur, which is not bad considering I didn't play any of the mode.
Okay. I think that this season has been really awkward for me because there is one deck that is just like clearly the best deck, and I just don't want to play that deck all the time. I'll play it occasionally, but not all the time. And it's V-Hand. And I have like an 80% win rate with that deck this season. And it's just like, if I wanted to climb, I would just play this deck a bunch of times, but I just don't want to do that. And so like that's where we're at, where it's just like, I'm just going to play all of the tier 2 decks that are worse than it instead and not climb nearly as high as I would otherwise do. One of my friends,
Pam loves ramp and hates V-Hand. What the hell is happening?
I've played too much of V-Hand, man. I'm burned out. Browday does not have any such compunctions. He like fell to like rank 100, and he has just played only V-Hand since, and he's back in the top 25. And it's like, yeah, I could do that. But like, I do not have it in me to play 2 weeks of V-Hand, even though it is very clearly the best deck in the game to me right now.
And I could definitely win a lot of arena directs if I wanted to. For sure. I definitely could.
I feel like one of us is coping, but it's not me. You know what I mean? That's just what I
don't know. I got 2 boxes. That ain't bad.
Yeah, you got 1 box. According to your token on Arena.
Yeah, I mean Arena's drunk. I think we can all agree to that, but
all right.
We'll see what they send me.
Let's see what Marvel Snap is going to send us on Tuesday. Should be a bunch of Weapon X cards. I don't even know why I set you up for that. You didn't have it open, did you? I not a chance.
We already talked about these cards. Why are we doing it again?
Because they're about to come out. We talked about them when they were data mined 2 months ago.
They change?
I actually don't know. That's why we do this.
Did they ban any of them in Sanctum Showdown?
Yeah, dude, they're gonna ban Aurora in Sanctum Showdown. Actually, they might ban Aurora in Sanctum Showdown. She seems kind of sick in that game mode. Actually, now that I think about it, she seems kind of baller.
Database schedule.
Yeah.
December cards.
Yes.
Weapon X Wolverine 2/2. After one of your other cards is destroyed, plus card added power.
This one rocks. In large part because the data mine versions of it don't really make any kind of sense because they like you ever have the Snap Fan thing, like they just don't actually do anything other than what's literally in the files. So
Yeah.
it won't like translate this for you, but as far as I'm aware, what it says is when something dies, it gets +1. And after 3 things dies, when something dies, it gets +2. And after 3 more things die, when something dies, it gets +3. And after 3 more things die, when something dies, it gets +4. Ad infinitum.
Yeah, so all you have to do is kill 100 things, and your
Yes.
thing is really big.
Yep.
It's interesting in that it's kind of doing what Null is doing, but is telling you to go wide instead of tall in terms of the things that you are destroying. Like, this seems like a Squirrel Girl card to me. And maybe a Hood card, and Null is not really a Hood card, right? So I like that stuff more, but this you do have to draw early, and that could kind of suck.
Yeah, it's like reverse death, except you have to draw it early. What I will say about this card is when I think about it in the typical Destroy shell, which is 6 1-drops, right? Deadpool, you have Agony, Moira X, you have Weapon, you have X-23, you have all the 1-drops, right? I can see a world where you're playing 6 1-drops in this, and what this is doing is adding juice to your non-Deadpool draws. Where this is just a poor man's Deadpool. You know what I mean? This is a card that you are playing so that you get something extra out of going boom, 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 boom. Problem. Are you getting enough extra out of this to make it better than normal Wolverine in that situation? That is, I think, the biggest question. And I think a lot of that's going to depend on how much you are doing 1-drops Killmonger versus normal eating of your guys.
Yeah, I think that is legit. To your point, I do think that this is a card that you could probably slot into normal destroy, but will probably pay you higher dividends if you actually do build your deck around it.
Yeah, like I was a big fan of the Headpool V-Hand destroy deck, where you just play Infi 1-drops forever and blow them up forever. And I think this guy probably is like 14 power in that deck. And it's like, okay, I mean, like a 214 is not nothing.
Yeah, it's not bad. That deck, I don't know, like can't really take as good of advantage of this when you're talking about like copying your hand with Moira or Moon Girl or whatever, because this thing's just always going to be a 2/2. You know, what am I going to do? Hold it for my Moon Girl? No.
Yeah. Couple of cards that stick out as like absolute best friends. Killmonger is number 1. This is the most Killmonger card of all time. This card cries out for Killmonger. Number 2 is X-23, because what you want is to be able to play as many things and then Killmonger as many things as possible, and that extra energy is quite helpful in allowing you to constantly vomit everything out of your hand in order to make this guy as big as you can get him. So, I mean, obviously, this is like a pretty niche season pass, I would expect. Like, you can play him in Squirrel Girl, Killmonger, Death decks, or whatever. Those haven't been good in a year. You can play him in normal Destroy. Probably not going to be that good, but might be an upgrade. This almost feels like a miss as a season pass card, where just by virtue of being so constrained, it ends up being like imagine if Jocasta was the season pass card. It's like that. It's like no matter how good the card is, if it's too good, they're going to nerf it, and it's only doing one thing ever.
I mean, if you are going to put a season pass card, if you're going to staple like a keyword onto it, I think the easiest one to do it is destroy. It does feel pretty narrow, but there are like, 5-ish different destroy decks not all of them are built equally, certainly, but this is, I think, the favorite mechanic of Snap's player base, especially at the lower levels, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it makes sense. Like, this makes more sense than MODOK as a season pass.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it makes less sense than Spider-Punk as a season pass, because even if you think Move is worse, Spider-Punk goes in both types of things that Move does, right? People are playing like mid-rangey Spider-Punk decks, and they're also playing it in big Move with Heimdall. And
Yeah.
I don't know that this guy has the breadth of experience in Destroy. I worry that he's a little one note even compared to other in archetype cards.
I think the thing that you may not be appreciating is that a lot of people, especially those who spend money, probably don't give a shit. They're just like, this character is cool. It says destroy on it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna put it in my deck.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, like, that is an extremely valid way to go about this. I mean, maybe that's the business case for this is like, what's up? We made another Wolverine.
Yeah.
Go buy Wolverine. Like, maybe that's the business case for this. The cold card gamer in me, Mr. Optimize My Outcomes, not so sure though.
Well, what are you gonna do as a game with Marvel's IP when
Yeah.
you launch with like Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and you just give all those cards away, right?
Here's what I do.
Those
You ready?
those
Ready
have
for
got to be the
pitch?
cards that sell at some point.
You ready for the pitch? I make this card a 2/4.
Jesus.
That's my pitch. I make this card a 2/4. And I'm like, this probably isn't right, but I am going to make you play New Wolverine. You are going to play the shit out of New Wolverine. I'm making him a 2/4. Oh, I drew him late. Oh, well, guess what? He's still a 2/4. There's the floor is massive. He's a 2/4.
Well, I wish that this were an instance where it could get like a season pass buff where it's like you get an extra line of text because you're a season pass. We're like, if you were unlucky and you drew this on turn 6, okay, fine, it's a 2/5. We'll give you something.
Yes, yeah. Like, that is the biggest problem with a card like this is it has Thena syndrome, where it's like,
Yeah.
man, I'll build my deck around this, but sometimes it's going to be really ass. Are you aware you became pixelated there for a second? You turned into like your whole color scheme adjusted, and you like got raptured up to heaven. Oh, it's happening again.
Oh,
That's
yep, it is
incredible.
happening.
Yeah.
Is
What's
it
it like
because I
up
have
there?
pixel cats on my cardigan?
I think it might be trying to focus on the cat eyes. Yeah, I think that is entirely possible. The
Oh
autofocus,
my god.
The autofocus is like, that's the actual, you just like, you don't move long enough, and it's like you move your body instead of your head, and it thinks, yeah, there you go.
No, I'm covering their eyes.
That's
Avert
incredible.
your cat eyes.
That's incredible. Would you care to tell the audience what you described that cardigan as to me earlier?
A catigan.
Yep, that's what he said. That real crowning moment of humor, Gerry Thompson.
So you know how I don't get complimented very often. I
didn't know that, actually.
We talked
other
about this
people's
briefly in a different episode, but whatever.
Mm.
I was at the Alexandria, Virginia Amtrak station, and I was complimented on my catigan. I just want you to know that.
Shout out to the good taste of the people at the Alexandria, Virginia Amtrak station.
That woman was 80, but she had exquisite taste.
I mean, that actually is a notch in her favor. Like, 80-year-old women famously have great opinions on everything. That's commonly known. I think everyone just.
How do you live that long and then still have bad opinions, right? Like, that's just not realistic.
Yeah, like that there's no way that would happen. That seems ridiculous. Please, nobody post that picture of the airplane with survivorship bias in it. Thank you very much. Do not post the picture of the airplane with the holes. I don't want to talk about it. Who's next?
Well, I don't know what order, but seeing as how we're talking about destroy, let's talk about Wade Wilson. 2/2. When destroyed, replace this with a 1 cost from your hand or deck with +1 power.
I want to say this is a Series 4. And I want to say that because I think it's really bad. So,
it is a limited time event card.
Okay, yeah, those are Series 4s, I think. This is like, I would argue the gold standard of limited time event cards is probably the Hunger, which is not like, I don't know if it's the best card to come out of a limited time event, but it's good enough to go in its archetype. It's a staple in what it does. It does a unique thing. It's a very, very strong card. Honestly, it's a good card. Wade Wilson. I think that this guy makes way more sense in a world where he's getting a Deadpool and doing something meaningful to it. Because the way this one starts, the way this one works is like, so to be clear, he pulls it from hand or deck, right? And gives it +1 power.
Yep.
Which means that the earliest you're destroying something is turn 4. You destroy this, then the Deadpool comes out, and then you destroy that on turn 4. So I'm not really seeing how I can use this card in a meaningful way.
What if you had the Agony already?
But you wouldn't be running Agony with this, and it also wouldn't trigger onto the Agony because the Deadpool would be pulled, and so it wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'm not seeing it with this. This guy, that number, some of his numbers are off. Either he should be a 1, or he should give more power.
So you play him, you blow him up, Deadpool into play. You blow up the Deadpool, play Agony. Deadpool is now a 4. On the Agony, it's a 7. Blow it up, it's a 14. That's pretty low, but it is better than if you did not draw Deadpool at all.
Is it better than what you would have been doing instead, like playing
Probably not
Weapon X and just doing points that way? I would imagine the answer is no. If I wanted to get 14 points the hard way in a destroy deck, I'd play Weapon X. You know what I mean?
Okay, what if I don't have $10 for the season pass, or I don't like shirtless dudes?
I mean, I would say in the second case, I would insult you by saying you were uncomfortable with your sexuality. Like, that would be my go-to move in that spot. In the first case, I would insult you for being a broke boy. So I think those are your two choices for how, like, the dialogue tree progresses.
I was just trying to come up with potential reasons why people would play Wade instead of Weapon X, and that was the best I had.
Yeah, I do think this is like kind of a flavor coup, though. But it's like one of those times where it's like you see a Magic card, it's like an uncommon that sucks and no one ever played, and you read it and you're just like, that's an awesome little bit of flavor. You know, like they did something really cool there. That's nice that exists. That's how I feel about this. Yeah, like this is like, yeah, it's bad, but it's nice that Wade Wilson dies and becomes Deadpool. That's cute. I think that's nice.
And you get it for free. It's not like they're asking you for $100 or whatever.
Yeah. The other thing I do like about this card, what I will say is, like, if we're looking for like reasons for this card to be good, just a card that when it dies, you get another body. It's not nothing. Like when I play Dormammu decks, one of the things that comes up is I don't have enough bodies to do all the shit that I want to do with this card. It's like, it's not the world's worst thing to have a 2-drop that does this. And I can see this being a meaningful thing. What I do want it to do, because it says hand or deck, I want it to prioritize deck. You know what I mean? It should be if deck, then hand.
No, for sure.
And I just don't know if they're capable of that.
Yeah. I feel, was there a card that did something similar?
I mean,
Airwalker? How does Airwalker work?
Random.
Really?
As far as I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I feel like these cards need to be like if deck then hand. You know what I mean? Like if no deck then hand. And yeah,
I hope that's not true.
I am 99% sure it is true. Not that I'm a big Airwalker gamer, but I am
Well, dude, you're talking about ramp decks, you're talking about Dormammu. I don't know who the hell you are.
There's a level though, you know, like those are decks that you could plausibly play and like be bad mid-range. Airwalker's not on that level.
Airwalker's dope as hell.
All right, who's next?
It's not dope enough to get me to play the event, but I did acquire it later. Chamber question mark 2/3 activate +2 power for each 5 cost or higher card you have here and in hand.
This guy rocks because like you ostensibly look at that and you're like, oh, each card I have here or in hand. And it's like, oh, those are 2 equal clauses. Like, no, it's not. This card is a card that says, give me power for every 5 cost or more you have in hand. That's what it says. That's what this card actually says. Like, those are not 2 co-equal clauses. I appreciate that they stuck the here on there just to make it not feel that bad. But what this card says is, I don't know, put me in Arishem or whatever. Put me in your ramp deck. Just do. I'm gonna be like a 2/11. let me go be a 2/11 or whatever. Like I'll just be a guy. And I think that's awesome. This is a cool card. This is just a card where it's like, you know what? There actually isn't a card that does this. And by virtue of being a card that does this and being pretty big, thumbs up. Great job. You're probably not going to get me to play Nick Fury, but maybe in my Arishem deck you will trick me into doing that. We'll see.
Maybe. And it'll come together once every, I don't know, 52
800?
podcast episodes.
Yeah. I think this guy's like pretty close to a slam dunk, actually. I know that sounds weird because like he's not gonna be in anything particularly amazing, probably, but he's just a card that's gonna be like, oh, I didn't get chamber, I can't play this deck. That's like, you know, people are playing like the Isan ramp deck with Hydro Man and all that. You probably make it worse by putting Nick Fury in, but I think this card could very conceivably make it better. And yeah, I also question about how this card works. If you Iron Patriot and get the discount, or Valentina and get the discount, does it work with this guy? Because I think it should.
If you Mr. Negative and then destroy your Wade Wilson, does it get a Mystique or whatever? I believe it is just the printed cost on it.
I think it depends. No, I think it like, what is the wording on this again? Can you read it? Is it cost?
+2 power for each 5 cost or higher card.
Okay, so 5 cost or higher is the base cost here. So it does refer to the base cost. Wade Wilson, does it say X cost or costs X?
1 cost.
Okay, so Wade Wilson. Okay, both of them refer to the base cost then.
Yeah, it can't get a wasp, unfortunately. You know,
unlucky.
Damn shame.
No ability to be surgical. I think that this card is actually kind of compelling in a Valentina Iron Patriot kind of way. Like,
I could see that. I mean, those are actually reasonable cards.
Yeah, like you're like, oh, I'm not playing dog
Nick Fury,
shit.
not so much.
Yes, like Nick Fury, there's no way. But like, I could see being an Iron Patriot Valentina deck and like playing this guy and like some other big guys. Like I could see like being Iron Patriot Valentina in my Arishem deck alongside this. I could see this guy being pretty big. I like it. The Iron Patriot Valentina are already in that Isan ramp deck. Like, again, the most tier 2 deck of all time. But this does probably go in it.
Yeah, I think Chamber is one of those cards where it's not weak. It is definitely good in its home. It's just that those decks are not very good. Mm-hmm. And if you enjoy playing those decks, well, Chamber will probably help out your win rate at least a little bit, and that's cool. And maybe over time, there will be some more support for those things. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the Iron Patriot stuff I think is particularly compelling because, like, he can win the Iron Patriot lane. Shit. Like that's pretty nice, right? Like, here's this guy, and then also, like, you know, I'll turn 3 Iron Patriot, do some cool stuff. I think ultimately the issue you run into is those decks are typically bad at realizing their gains. And that is going to be true basically forever. So that's kind of a fundamental part of what this card is. But I do think that it's just like a nice little card that I'm not going to be sad to have lying around my collection.
Yeah, it's nice. Wild Child, 2/1, ongoing, +4 power if you've discarded a card, +4 power if one of your cards has been destroyed.
They're really putting this at the beginning of the season?
It is a Series 4, but it says December 2nd, yeah.
That's crazy. So this card is very clearly meant to go with the card coming out on December 30th, Phantom X, which has the same conditions. Like, it's an activate that works if you've had a card discarded and had a card destroyed. So this is like a card that's like, oh, I'm supporting Phantom X. Why would it come out a month earlier? Like, what? What?
There are no Season 4s in the last 2 weeks.
That seems crazy to me.
December 18th is Fastball Special and Marrow. And Marrow is also like a discard or destroy card.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. That just seems like a case where product needs to talk to design.
No. Here's the thing. If you are trying to build an entirely new archetype, so you have things like Wild Child, Phantom X, Marrow, you can't just drop them all in the same day. And we saw this with the Zombie Season 2. Like, the shit has to get spread out somehow, and it's not entirely satisfying in the way that it does that necessarily, but
I buy that. But I just think that, like, what you shouldn't do is have the largest possible gap between the two, which seemingly they have done by putting this card at the beginning of the season and Phantom X at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you could swap Fastball and Wild Child potentially.
Yeah, I would absolutely do that. Like, that seems like a much better thing to do.
Well, this is an actual Series 4, right? And then Fastball and Marrow are both limited time events. I don't know if there's some consideration there.
I have no idea, but I do think this card is good. Like, if the Phantom X deck exists, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a bigger part of it being good, honestly. Like, I don't think that, like, a 2/9 is cool, right? That's a cool thing to have, full stop. That's just really sick. A 2/9 that works with the thing your deck is built around, that's really sick too. I would almost go so far as to say this is a more versatile and interesting payoff to doing what is asked of you than Phantom X is. Like, I could put this in my Misery Gambit deck any day of the week. By the way, the thing about Phantom X and this card that likely is annoying as shit is I feel like the thing that it wants to be is like a 48% win rate Misery Gambit mid-range deck that makes everybody miserable. Like, that seems like the easiest way to get these conditions to me.
I'm in for that. That sounds great.
Miserable. A miserable pile of shit deck. I cannot wait for, like, everyone at High Infinite to be losing Gambit 50/50s. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. That's my only knock on Misery Phantom X. Phantom X, I think, a little underpowered. I realize that's kind of insane to say about a 418, but I think he, like, is a little bit weak. This, on the other hand, is just like, I'll play Misery Gambit, and this will be like a 2/5 to a 2/9, and I'm just in for that. Like, this is just a sick ass card. I'm in for it.
All right, hold up. Hear me out.
Okay.
Because of the flavor, we talked about wade into Deadpool. It makes sense. But what if, and I didn't realize this until now, but it rhymes. What if you wade into Blade to enable your Phantom X and your Wild Child?
I don't know, man. How about we don't do that? Like, what if we didn't play the two bad cards?
Little Wade Blade action.
A little Wade Blade. It sounds like a sort of toy wakeboard that, like, they'd sell to kids on a TV commercial in the 1990s. Wade Blade. Go buy it's $29.99 plus shipping. That's how much the Wade Blade costs. It's like a really small skateboard. That's the
Mom, I want it.
I want
I
a
want a
Wade blade.
blade.
Yeah, no, that's I think that sounds totally fucking terrible, man. I think that sounds really bad. That sounds heinous. All right. Yep, bad. Not good. Oh, you know what Wade actually could do is go in Black Knight decks, and then you could 50-50 the Black Knight versus the Blade, and whether or not you get the card you wanted. Sick.
Well, if you already have the Black Knight, then you blow up the Wade. Assuming it does that. What if you were like, oh, I have the blade in my hand, and then you blow it up and it works how you think it does, and
it pulls the blade from hand and discards your shit. Yeah.
And then next turn you draw the Black Knight and you're like, yeah, this is going swimmingly.
I'm so glad I made this deck. I'm so glad
it's all coming together.
I'm so glad I played for the Wade blade, you know? I'm so glad I spent that $29.99 plus shipping. That's a good use of my money, the Wade blade. Who's next? I just got a thumbs up, Wild Child. I think that card's like the real draw of that archetype. Just that's sick. Like people ask me like, how big does a 2-drop have to be to get you to be like, oh, I actually just like that card? I feel like 9 probably does it. Like, I feel like I'm in for a 2/9. I'm interested in that. That's like a really cheap guy to invest a lot in a lane with.
And hopefully Chamber is larger than that, and you seem to thumbs up that card. So yeah, 9 seems to be doing it.
Yeah, I wish you watched football, because there'd be a lot of good jokes I could make. There's a football player who nicknamed himself 9. He's like, 9 is my alter ego. He comes out on game days, and he is dog shit. He is like the worst player in the league. And so now 9 has sort of become a byword for like bad quarterbacking. Like this is a guy
it's 9 the number, not like the German word for
no, like 9 the number, and like
the Ocho,
exactly like the Ocho actually. Anyway, he was injured this week, and his backup was somehow worse than him, so I've started calling his backup 8. So yeah, like there's just a lot. There's a lot, but
meaningful distinction from the Ocho, by the way.
Yes, because the Ocho is good and enjoyable, and nothing about Minnesota Vikings football is.
Whoa, the Vikings! That's my team.
Are they actually?
Well, I was born in Minnesota.
Oh man, it's BBD's team, and BBD's one of the people I talk about football the most with. And
I did know that too.
This has been a painful.
Don't know why he likes the Vikings, but
it's been a painful season for our boy. It's I asked him earlier today, like, hey man, how are you still alive? And he was like, it's tough. Like, I have to watch. Not only does he have to watch 9, there's a Discord server that he started that just repeatedly clowns on this guy, and he's just like, I have to keep watching this goddamn team. It's a karmic punishment for something. I don't know what it is.
What if during the week he's just really good at football, and then it's on game day?
Game day's 9.
He becomes the 9.
He becomes yeah. Give me the ball. I have to throw it to the other team as fast as possible. 9 demands picks. Anyway, yeah, his backup came in and threw 4 interceptions, which is somehow even worse than him. It's amazing.
That's like a 7.
Yeah, well, that's why he's 8, right? If he gets to play one more game, he's on pace for 8. I stole that joke for BBD too, because I brought up the 8 thing, and he was like, he will be 8 in one more game, referring to his average interception total.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's bad. It's super bad. Anyway, like that's that's my tangent on 9. JJ McCarthy.
Well, if I go to a tournament ever, that's what I'm gonna loudly declare on game day. Be like, well, this is my Magic the Gathering playing alter ego 9.
9. I think that's a solid play. I think that has clearly worked well in the past and will continue to do so in the future. I think the key thing about an alter ego is you can't tell anyone about it until you're already good. Like, if you have an alter ego, you are only allowed to talk about it after you're good. You can't be a
Yeah,
psycho when you're bad. You know what I mean?
it's it's one of those things where you are clearly focusing on the wrong shit. He's like, "Oh, I've got the like branding stuff down." It's like, "Hey, how about you get good at your job first?"
I think the funny thing about the way this guy is bad at football is it's so different from the way most people are bad at football. Like, he makes every correct read and then just can't throw the ball. Like, a lot of the time, a bad quarterback will be unable to process the speed of the game or like just kind of be an idiot or whatever, right? He's a bad quarterback the exact opposite way from a normal bad quarterback. He can make every correct decision and be fully unable to execute, which is a really
Yeah.
impressive like way to be bad. It's like, oh, I haven't seen that flavor before. That's a really interesting shit. Like sometimes you see it, sometimes you get a weird one, and he's a weird one, you know?
Feels like he would be a better coach.
That's entirely possible, but yeah, he's because like when you look at like the list of quarterbacks who are bad, it's him and like the only other guy who's been as bad as him, according to a couple of advanced stats, is a guy named Jamarcus Russell, who was famously the laziest motherfucker on the planet. But he had a great arm, he had all the athletic talent in the world. But like the most famous story about Jamarcus Russell is how the coaches sent him home with film that didn't have any film on it to see if he was actually watching it, and he came in the next day and was like, yeah, I watched it, here's what I learned. Like that's the most famous, that's like the typical way to be a bad quarterback, and he's invented a whole new way to be bad, which I think is really impressive. I've never seen a quarterback who does all the things on the field that aren't throwing the ball correctly and then just can't throw the ball. I've never seen it before. It's weird.
Adamantium infusion. 4-cost skill on reveal. Revive your highest power destroyed card here with its power doubled.
I like that it targets highest power. I think that's a really meaningful upgrade over other things of this nature. Now, how often is that going to happen? I don't know, but enough of the time that I think that's like that's good text to have on here that is like significantly positive for what this card is. It's got to compete with Phoenix Force, and it's got to compete with, I would say, maybe Elixir. And when you look at what Phoenix Force and Elixir are doing right now, a lot of it is just reviving various green power dipshits that have on reveals that give them a bunch of power. Revive Cassandra Nova, revive Sage, revive Zombie Giant Man, and just sort of like loop that as much as you can with like a Fire Hair or whatever.
Whoa, is there a looping Giant Man deck? Send me that list.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to be streaming it tomorrow with the guy who made it, who's been playing it in top 10, the Phoenix Force master himself, Jet. I don't know if you're familiar, but we're going to do like a little coaching stream with it. And yes, there is a deck that is about looping Giant Man. Your goal is to just play a bunch of Giant Men and like various like Elixir, Fire Hair, Phoenix Force, Venom, repeat on reveal things in that way. It's pretty sick. But that deck's been around. It used Sage before, right? And
yeah,
now it's looping Giant Man. That requires a couple other changes, but that's basically where it's at. And I don't know if this is as conducive to it as that, but I can imagine this just being a strict upgrade over PF in a deck like that. Double the power. I mean, like, what if you're able to actually pull that off in a way that is sick as hell? Like, what if you can somehow figure out how to get a Giant Man dead, revive it, kill it, bring it back off an Elixir? Like, if you can revive it, venom it, and then bring it back, you got that doubled power. Like, and then you also have another body at that doubled power. Is this the most
like quadruple power?
Yes. Is this the most lose to Shadow King deck of all time? Yeah, of course. All right, just ignore that. Don't talk about it. And then also Nimrod, who I gotta say, I'm not nearly as worried about Nimrod now because there's so much other combo shit that makes him look stupid. Like, yeah, all right, you got like a bunch of power. Okay, who gives a shit? You got Shadow Kinged and or Human Torch is bigger than any of your things. All right, whatever. Good luck. Like, or you get Stardusted. Like, I think Nimrod is in a place where it's like, I wouldn't want to pump power into him because he's not that fun. But I think he'd be kind of safe to do. And I think this card probably makes sense there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all that. The deck does keep getting cards though. So I think it's possible that at some point it's like, oh, this is a real thing, but I don't think this is the thing that puts it over the top.
Nimrod is good in mid-rangey metas, which, to be clear, we are kind of in one right now. So, like, maybe there's actually, like, real upside for this. It's especially good in mid-rangey metas where the mid-range decks can't afford Stardust. Again, that is kind of true right now. So, like, if you on day one just play a bunch of Nimrod stuff, I bet you probably will crush a bunch of E-hand, you know? I bet you'll beat the shit out of all those Prowler decks. Which, by the way, Prowler has released and become the absolute king of tier 2. Like, not a single Prowler deck is good into V-Hand. Not one of them. And there are, I don't know, 10. Like, there are just like 10 different mid-range Prowler decks. And they all lose to V-Hand. And they all do the same thing. And it's just like, oh my god. Like, why? This guy is the god of tier 2. I've never seen anything like it.
Dude, if I didn't log on today because of this podcast, I wouldn't have seen this Lady Sif in my shop, and then I wouldn't have gotten the Creative House Blink.
Show me the Lady Sif. And the Blink, actually. I wanna you move the other way.
Oh god.
That is kind of nice. That's a good Lady Sif. That's cooler than I expected it to be.
See album.
Wait, there's a CHP album? Oh my god. Oh yeah, I know that Blink. I've used that Blink for a thumbnail before. Love the color scheme on her. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's they're called sticker variants, but it is Creative House.
How many do I need to get that Blink?
8 of 10.
Damn.
When
not happening.
When it had the drop day where it was like, oh, here's like 8 in the shop or whatever, I was kind of gold poor. So I got a few of them. Now I'm missing Lockjaw and Scarlet Witch. I wouldn't say I'm missing them.
I was looking at buying the Cosmic Ghost Rider bundle, the $100 bundle. And then I saw a link to some Italian leather loafers sale. And they were cheaper than the bundle. And I was
and
like...
long story short, you now have a Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Long story short, I now have a pair of Italian loafers in the mail. I did not get the Cosmic Ghost Rider. I have a pair of Italian loafers to wear my girlfriend's work Christmas party. All right? Not a Cosmic Ghost Rider. And I don't plan on doing both. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I don't plan on it.
Your girlfriend is having a Christmas party at your house?
Work Christmas party. We're both Jewish. It'd be pretty weird if we were.
The joke is that, well, yeah, that's why I was confused.
Oh,
but the joke is
right.
You're leaving your house.
I thought you were joking that I am like her emotional labor, right? Like work Christmas party is taking care of my lazy ass. No, you were.
No, that's good though too.
I see where you're going here. There were multiple avenues of attack. I think you chose a slightly suboptimal one, but it still hit.
Oh, dude, it says Blink twice on this card. It says it under the cost also in pink.
There's no... it does, yeah. Like a little graffiti spray. Nice.
That's weird. All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay, close the app.
All right, who's next?
Bought a card, made it my favorite. Close the app.
Friendly Whale. Log on, buy variant, log off.
Well, I had the gold already.
I see. That I see no flaws in that logic.
I get it for free for doing dailies. It was like, I don't know, 4 months of work to buy that Lady Sif.
All right, who's next?
Weapon H 714. When discarded, put this back with -2 cost.
I think this is the card that the very most people have not read. And I'll tell you why. Because everyone I have seen talk about this card has been like, it's a Hela card. No, it isn't. How the fuck is this a Hela card? And what I figured out was people are reading it as whenever you discard a card. That's what they're reading it as. That's not true. That's not what it says. It's fucking Apocalypse, but it gets cheaper. This card is not a Hela card. I don't know what people are talking about. It is driving me insane. Like,
You know, it's a sick hella card, Apocalypse. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean this is a hella card? This is not. People used to try to play hella Apocalypse in the year 2023 in the beta before anyone knew what anything was good. I'm pretty sure bad players tried it. But this is an APOC discard card. This is a card that wants to be part of your final turn point output. This is a card that wants to be Corvus Glaved, dude. Imagine being able to Corvus Glaive, Khonshu, and this on the final turn of the game. Beast mode. That shit is sick as hell. It also might, like, there's a world where you're like, oh, I'm going to do this in a Phantom X deck and play Wild Child. I don't buy any of that shit. I think any Phantom X deck is free rolling the discard off of Gambit and literally fucking nothing else. I don't think you're doing this in the Phantom X deck. I think that's just too inconsistent, too terrible. I think this is, I want to Corvus Glaive this and Khonshu and just like nut off on that final turn. Like, imagine the world where you got like Dracula on the board, you got this Corvus Khonshu, you have the Apocalypse go into the Dracula, you have all of these giant idiots come down. That's a ton of points in a traditional discard deck. And it's been a while since discard got some good points. Like, I'm just going to take Proxima out and put this motherfucker in and call it a day.
I was going to say this is like double Proxima. If you're able to discard it 4 times, you know, it's
does
sometimes that is.
1? Does it actually go to 0? I would imagine it's like, mostly you're just trying to get it to 1.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty hard, but like, I don't get it to 1 and then you bullseye it.
I don't think that works for the same cost related reason. Oh wait, no, it does work. Yeah,
it does work with Swarm. So why wouldn't it work with this?
I guess it works. Yeah, we're gonna bullseye this. That's definitely a thing we're gonna do. Absolutely, you nailed it.
Bullseye my weapon H.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but yeah, like in a pinch, this is your big Dracula card, right? Like, ooh, I didn't get my Apocalypse this game. Good thing I have this asshole in my hand. Oh, I drew him late. Oh no, my 14 power. Oh god, that's so terrible. Like, I just think this card is good in the discard deck, and definitely not a hella card.
Certainly not a hella card. That's like just a weird thing to say. Like,
you have,
I think it makes more sense.
How often I've heard that.
I think it makes more sense to be like, well, I could just blade this once and then cast it. And I think that is silly, but yeah, technically true.
Yeah, I don't think it works like Swarm either, right? Like, I think there's a world where you'd be like, oh, okay, so a copy goes into the discard pile, and then I get a cheaper thing, right? And that would make it a hella card. But I don't think it works that way. I think it works like Apocalypse. And so...
No, it's put this back.
Yeah, like, it's like, I don't know what it is that has convinced people this is a hella card, but I'm not seeing it.
I think they're drunk. I don't know.
Solid play.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Also, this is just, I have no idea who the hell Weapon H is. But I am able to immediately pick up from context that they did a Hulk with Wolverine claws, and they called it Weapon H. And I think that's awesome. I think that's sick as hell. I love that they were just like, all right, like, let me get in the fucking lab for a little bit. The Weapon Plus project, we're about to cook. Let's remix this, baby. I'm DJ Khaled.
And he's got the world's tiniest head.
It's Hassan Piker. All right, who's next?
Maverick. 3/3 activates. Give the next card you play power equal to this card's power.
I think it's a good card. I just think there's a lot of things in its way. But this card, fundamentally, when I look at it, it's like, I think that Surfer does cool things. I think that this card is almost certainly insanely jacked up with the data mine Shang-Chi. Like, really, 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 really strong. I think that this is a pretty reasonable card at doing fairly unreasonable things. There are things in its way. Those things are named Deafening Chord and Shadow King. And, you know, God forbid you're counting on this in a world where that stuff is happening. But I do think that this is like an interesting and potentially powerful card. This is a card that I think is just like, I feel like the floor on this guy, like just as a card, is like a B. You know? Might not be an A, but the floor is pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, 3/6.
Yep.
Okay. Obviously, it doesn't work on turn 6. But I would hope that if you're putting this in your deck, you have some sort of like brood or draw or whatever kind of
Yeah,
thing
like
going
the
on
Brood
where
is
that matters.
disgusting, right? That's just like you play this card and Brood is 15 power. That's fucked up. It's just a lot of shit. Like it's just that and alone is enough to be like, this is probably a pretty good card.
And you can also pump this and pay it forward that way too.
Yeah. It's like there's honestly nothing bad I can say about it other than it is a surfer card, which is a pretty bad thing to say about it. Like, it's like, all right, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you're talking about how, oh, Chamber's a ramp card. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
so you're saying it sucks.
Yes. It's
And you're
the
like,
same
no, but
thing here.
it's good in the ramp deck.
Yeah.
Maverick is good in the surfer deck, but then I'm like, oh, I'm playing surfer?
Yeah, I will say this. I think it's better than Chamber, relatively speaking, in relation to its archetype.
I do too. It's not as pigeonholed.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's also a little bit more uncapped, where like you're more likely to do something stupid with this than Chamber. And I care more about that right now based on how the metagame is, right? Like a 2/7 2/11 is like, all right, you know, that's cool, but like, okay. The 18 power Brood, we're talking like, all right, this is making me like take notice, you know?
Yeah. And Chamber is asking me to put a bunch of terrible cards in my hand.
Yeah.
Maverick is just like, I don't know, play me.
Yeah, I go in a surfer deck. And, you know, before anyone does the joke, you know, oh, yeah, all the surfer cards are terrible. You know, maybe you play a bunch of terrible cards in my deck. They're not as terrible as a Nick Fury. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, certainly not.
Definitely not there.
I mean, you forced me to make a choice. I'm playing Surfer over Nick Fury every time.
Any day. But yeah, I think this card is potentially quite solid. Like, just being able to add a level of explosion to Surfer. Remember when Galacta came out? And it was like, this is so clearly strong, but what it does for Surfer is actually make it a real deck again. And I think this is a pretty similar card, Surfer. Like, you talk about giving +3 to stuff. Yeah, it's only one proc of giving +3 to stuff, but it scales with the body. And we've seen that be messed up enough that I think that this is a pretty compelling card.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's as strong as on or released Galacta, but it does have some stuff going for it where it's like this costs 3 instead of 4. So it does get buffed by your own surfer and whatnot. So I don't know, whatever. I feel like you can also potentially play this in non-surfer places. It just lends itself to that very easily.
I mean, here's one. You could fall in one with this card, and it's actually not dog shit embarrassing. Like, it's not the greatest thing that's ever happened, but it's like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm in.
Like, there's just stuff that this card does where it's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, yeah, like, there's not just Surfer. There's, like, some other things here. Like, maybe you're just happy with, like, activate bigger Forge, you know? Like, there are decks that would play that.
Zombie Galacti.
Probably not that. I mean, like, maybe
probably not.
Maybe they would.
Probably not, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Who's next?
We got Fastball Special and Marrow in the same week, both from limited time events. I would assume the same event. Fastball Special, 2-cost skill on reveal. Destroy your highest power card here to afflict an enemy card here with that much negative power.
This card is probably the best card that says destroy on it, if I had to guess. Like,
are you saying this season or of all time?
Maybe of all time. Like, when I compare this to Carnage and Venom, I am happier doing this in several use cases. Oh, my big Deadpool on turn 5? This costs 2 and afflicts all their shit with my big Deadpool? I'm super into doing that. I sort of look at this as like, oh, my big Nimrod, this costs 2 and afflicts them with all of that shit. I'm super into doing that, right? Like, there's just like, I think this card is really good. I look at this card and I'm just like, yeah, okay, you know, there's some bad things here. Also, I guess follow-up question. Can you read the wording real quick?
Destroy your highest power card here to afflict an enemy card here with that much negative power.
What happens when you do this on a void?
If my highest power card was the void,
yeah,
0.
Okay. I just wanted to ask, because it's like, what if they code it wrong, and it's like 9, and then oh man, I'm in for it.
No, well, I think in that world it would give +9.
Yeah, they could code it wrong
because
that way too.
Negative -9 power should be additive.
That has never been true in Marvel Snap, though. They don't believe in that. They don't. Yeah.
How sick would it be if they were like, "Oh, I'll hobgoblin you," and you fastball them back?
Oh, I mean, I'm guessing if they're hobgoblining me, they don't have any other shit there. It's probably just a Galactus. But it is kind of sick to do that. That would be sick. It would just. How would that ever be my highest power card? I think the only way that would happen is the void. I think the only way that would happen is the void, yeah,
probably.
That's
this card costs 2, and Adamantium Infusion costs 4. I think that's cute.
What, like you blew up a Nimrod on 5, revive the Nimrod with Adamantium Infusion, -12 the lane, get Nimrods in the other lanes? I see that.
Yeah, it's just a good finish,
Yeah. It is kind of funny that this is like very X-Men themed thing where who are we going to play it with? Nimrod.
it's X-Men's best friend, time. Nimrod.
Yeah, it's Nimrod time. The best friends of the X-Men, Nimrod and Deadpool. Let's do it.
Well, okay, so to be fair, Fastball Special has Colossus in it,
and
Deadpool is canonically friends with Colossus.
According to the movies, yeah, that's true.
Okay, so there's that. Also, Adamantium Infusion, I feel like that's a thing I would not do to my friends.
That would match the canon. I believe it is horrifically painful, yeah. That sounds accurate to me.
I don't know if Nimrod can feel pain.
That's a good question, actually. I'm not sure either. But yeah, what's flavor judge rulings aside, who's next?
Marrow 2/3. When discarded or destroyed, randomly split -6 power among enemy cards.
I gotta tell you, man, this season makes me really mad at Luke Cage. There's just a lot of shit in this season where they're clearly using affliction to reflect battle damage. And they just have a card that's like, oh, shut the fuck up. It's a very annoying thing to happen there because it's like, all right, battle damage. All right, we got a battle damage thing. But the problem is that affliction takes up so much mechanical space when translating for flavor. Hazmat and Marrow are not doing the same thing. They are not, even though they are literally doing the same thing, they are not flavorfully doing the same thing. In Magic the Gathering, these would be 2 different mechanics, but because of the limited design space in Marvel Snap, they cannot be 2 different mechanics, and so Luke Cage takes a huge shit on this.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, and if you were looking for this season to be successful, maybe you're supposed to just ban Luke Cage.
Murder Luke Cage. Ban Luke Cage. Throw Luke Cage in a trash can. Kick Luke Cage out of the game entirely. These are all equally powerful options that I think would accomplish the goal that I have.
Anytime it's like, oh, look at this season full of fun, cool cards. And then there's a card that is just waving the middle finger. At least if the next season they tried to sell me Luke Cage for $100, I'd be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. The problem is it is the mechanical space though, right? Because this makes a ton of sense as a mechanic to be battle damage, right? Oh yeah. But there's the only way they would have to do that is if they just made up another word and had it work mechanically identically and then not work with any of the afflict cards. And it's that's terrible. That's so bad. And until then, Like, I don't feel like here's maybe you do scar, right? Scar, and that would be the keyword for like not afflict. Like it's Wolverine afflict, Call it that.
Yeah, but then there is a card called Scar, and he doesn't have that mechanic, and you're just like, what the shit is this?
That is spelled so differently that nobody would ever make that conclusion. There's no way. Unless you're assuming the mechanic is called SKAAR, in which case...
Except for literally me, who just did right now within half a second. I think they could have done a thing where it's like changes to cost and power are permanent, and afflict would be like that, whereas something like damage would be like damage counters in Pokemon that you could remove
you
or
could
heal. And a thing like
Yes.
Wolverine could just have like end of turn heal me,
Yeah, I actually think you're kind of cooking there. Is like afflict should be the more permanent one, and this should be the less permanent one. That would be a mechanical space for this. But unfortunately, we just like Marvel Snap just doesn't have access to that mechanical space.
And then Luke Cage could be like, all the cards behind me at this location are like can't be damaged.
Yeah, or even none of your cards can be damaged would work if there was a meaningful differentiation between damage and afflict, Like that. I kind of like it. I'm sure that there are probably good reasons why they don't do this, like mechanical complexity, but still.
In my experience, I don't know if this is what happened here, but like I've consulted for smaller game companies where to me this is a thing that is like pretty prevalent and kind of obvious, where you're looking at it and it's like, okay, well, like what are you going to do in this mechanical space for like your 5th set, for your 10th set, for your 15th set or whatever, right? And they're just like, ah, shit, I don't know. We kind of mined it all for this one. Because who cares,
Well, Marvel Snap has only done that for counters. Give them credit for that.
Counters? What do you mean?
Like, the only places where they've mined 100% of available things are with their counter cards. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like Cosmo and Luke Cage and Mobius. Their actual mechanical designs in the space are very open-ended, except, arguably Hazmat.
Well, I think what I just suggested with like permanent affliction versus like damage, because I mean realistically this is just a Luke Cage problem where it's like, okay, you want to do afflict as representative of a few different various things happening, like, oh, hazmat poison clouds, or like people beating each other up or whatever, and Luke Cage is just this global thing with his middle finger up, and it's like, well, that's silly. Maybe you don't necessarily need to differentiate it, but certainly if we are living in a world where like Luke Cage must exist for some reason, then I think it'd be better.
Yeah, I also think that like in that world they have to re-examine Hazmat and Ajax, because those are cards that seem pretty explicitly balanced around those other two existing. And you probably can't have that in a world where afflict represents battle damage. You can't have Hazmat exist. Is largely my contention.
Yeah, but like imagine that, I don't know, like damage healing was a thing.
Yeah.
Like there is a lot of stuff that you could do there in that space, right?
We've gotten pretty far afield from Marrow, but I think largely our consensus is not great, probably. Like, I can see maybe playing it in my Phantom X pile and feeling kind of bad about it. But the problem is, if I'm playing Phantom X pile and other people are playing Phantom X pile, a whole goddamn deck loses to Luke Cage. So why am I even playing it?
So if I'm gonna discard a card, I could discard Proxima.
Mm-hmm.
That would give me 7 power. It's concentrated at a location. It does take a board slot. This is going wide instead of tall. Doesn't take a board slot. Neither of those things is necessarily like stronger than the other, right? Hello, kitten.
Yep.
Ask your cat if she likes my cardigan.
Like his cardigan.
Oh, she's so sleepy.
Got no opinion. Yeah, she's been asleep on my Jeff costume across the room for this entire podcast.
You have a Jeff costume?
Yeah, it's a little shark costume. Yeah.
I
Yep. What do you want
anyway,
from me?
I think Marrow is not bad, but there are similar cards that exist. She does double duty, right? Where it's like could be a destroy card, could be a discard card, and certainly Proxima does not do that. But outside of the context of Phantom X, I don't know if that's super valuable. Like I could see a world where if I was just starting, this would be a cool card to have.
Yeah, she does have a bit of that Series 2 vibe about her, doesn't she?
Yeah.
That is kind of what the space she's playing around in is. Who's next? Is it our boy Phantom X?
No, it's Aurora, then Phantom X.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Aurora 6/6. On reveal, give one of your other on reveal cards at each location +2 power. Repeat for ongoing, activate, and end of turn.
So this card really wants cards that double up on those things, right? You want to be an activate and an on reveal like Mr. Fantastic First Steps, or an on reveal and an ongoing like a couple of the Thanos stones. It wants those pretty badly. It's hard for me to look at this card and not be like, oh yeah, that's like a 620, right? But it's like, is that good? Like, I know that seems like a pretty insane question to ask, but like, is a 620 good given the deck building constraints that you have to go through to get it? If I'm playing a 620 in Thanos, wouldn't I just be playing ongoing Thanos with Spectrum? I don't know what I'm getting out of doing this.
Here's the thing, though. Like, how much more constrictive is this than Spectrum? Because Spectrum is ongoing only. At least this, you get your pick of all these different abilities and you get to choose from the best among them. And so I don't feel like this card is like particularly restrictive.
I think the fact that it's going to make you play like activates, I like what is my generically good activate?
You don't have to play an activate. You could simply fulfill like the other 3 potentially, and then maybe her output is a little bit less.
Okay, what's my generically good end of turn?
Hydra Bob. Black Cat. I don't know.
Sure. Okay. I mean, Hydra Bob, Black Cat, thing for steps in a Thanos deck. Okay. Like, yeah, I like that. That seems compelling. I could see Hydra Bob, Black Cat, thing for steps in a Thanos deck. I'm in for it. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Thing for steps, I guess, makes more sense than like the second one drop.
No, I think you're actually probably right that you want all of them. I don't know.
Huh?
You're about to say Mr. Fantastic First Steps?
No. Sorry. The zombie one.
Oh, yeah. I'm of two minds on him because on the one hand, he is 2 procs of this. On the other hand, he is taking up a board slot. But on the third hand, that activate hits a bunch of shit in Thanos. So, maybe it works.
Yeah. Maybe. The Horde is dead weight in terms of Aurora, but I don't necessarily know that I'm going to have like one of each of those cards at every location anyway. So
I think I'm higher on this card now that you've pointed out Black Cat, Hydra Bob, thing first steps is like a viable thing I can do here. I'm in for it.
Yeah.
I think that puts me significantly higher on it, yeah.
The random ongoings are either you play Wong to double this. I don't think you need to. More realistically, you probably just have like a Cosmo in your deck or something.
Yeah, you just play like Mercury or whatever the fuck, right? It's just Mercury.
So, yeah, generic ongoing, generic on reveal, those are pretty easy. And then end of turn does just have like decent utility stuff. So you could be like a hate card Thanos deck that gets points via Aurora.
I don't know what the hell the activate is supposed to be though. Every activate, like what am I playing? I'm playing Danger. I don't think I'm playing Danger. Like,
can I lockjaw? Is that legal?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Yeah, I think you can lockjaw. I'm in for it.
Hell
That's an
yeah.
activate. Yeah.
All right, we got one. We got
Yeah.
our token activate card.
I think that is genuinely as far as we go. We get activate, we get those 3 end of turns, and then the rest of the deck is just Thanos. I'm in for it. That seems plausible.
I was thinking I could symbiote Spider-Man my Aurora, but not really.
I don't think you can do that. Yeah. Seems like ass. This deck wants to play for volume. It does not want to play... even just playing Aurora is like, all right, okay, that's a lot. It wants to play for volume. It does not want to spend turn 4 playing one guy. It wants to play like a 3 and a stone, right? It wants to be like going for board spaces, right? It wants to be like 2 1-drops and a 2, like Zombie Mr. Fantastic, a stone, and like a Black Cat or whatever. That's what the turn 4 wants to be.
Well, we're playing Wiccan for sure.
I would imagine that's true. I would also imagine that it's not particularly reliable.
Why not?
Well, because it's Wiccan. It'll happen like 50% of the time.
That's because y'all suck at building decks.
No, like literally it'll happen 50% of the time. Like, oh, I didn't draw a 1-drop, and oh, I didn't draw Wiccan. That's 50% of the time. That's going to happen.
I mean, not drawing Wiccan, yes, but if I do, say in games you draw Wiccan, how often is it online?
Oh, like
for you?
More than 50% of the time? Yeah, like the 50% of the time was including me not drawing Wiccan.
Okay. Well, that's not it not working. That's you literally didn't draw the card. That's like...
Right, but like what I'm saying is we can't count on that being like allowing us to do both of these things at the same time, especially if you're talking about using Wiccan to compensate for the fact that we are then going to symbiote Spider-Man our shit, because it's like that's another big idiot. Like, I don't think we can do
No,
it,
I was bringing up Wiccan as the counterpoint to like, oh, we don't want to play a big guy in turn 4. I was like, well, actually there is one big guy I want to play.
Yeah, there is one big guy that we would reasonably... Sure. But yeah, like I could see all of this. This all is conceptually functional to me. I can see this. Just all this stuff and then some, like Mercury, Mobius, Shadow King or whatever, right? Do that and then call it a day and just be like, I have successfully teched myself for the metagame. I have a Thanos deck. And just call it a day. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, I think you've talked me into this card with Lockjaw, Black Cat, Hydra Bob. Think first steps. That is the package that I like out of this, I think.
And that's just off the top of my head. There might just be better cards.
So. I don't know that there are, is what I'll say. I cannot confirm nor deny.
Yo, there's like a fake Pixel Animus or Annihilus coming out.
That's not fake.
No, well, it's not like an actual pixel one. It is just an animated thing.
Yeah.
But it looks dope as hell.
It does look dope. That one looks dope. The Thanos looks dope. And the Weapon X looks pretty okay.
Oh, Champion Unknown. Yeah, there's a Black Panther, a Cap.
Yep.
Iron Man. Yo, the Sentinel's sick.
All right. It's Phantom X left.
Yeah. Can you tell I have ADHD?
I had not been able to figure that out at all.
Considering I'm going through the random variants. Yeah, Phantom X, last card, 4/6. Activate. If you've had cards discarded and destroyed, afflict front row enemy cards at each location with -2 power.
Theoretical 418. Downside is a 4-cost activated. Every single one of those has been totally ass. Downside further is a 4-cost activate with even more conditions on it. I realize they probably made this when mid-range was like the thing to do. I get that. But this card seems low to me. I think it's a really cool
Maybe
card.
by the time it comes out, combo won't be a thing, and mid-range will be back on the menu.
But even if it is, Cosmic Ghost Rider exists now, and it's like, oh, I've built my entire deck around. Oh, fuck, I lose. Like, it's just like, not only do I get Luke Caged, I get Cosmic Ghost Ridered, and this guy screams 48 win percentage, very annoying mid-range deck. you know?
Dope.
Like
Love that.
that's what this guy is to me. I almost think he might be worst of all worlds. Gonna make people do is play more dog shit, hood, misery, gambit, mid range with this guy, and then they're gonna lose to anyone who texts for it by like playing Luke Cage or Cosmic Ghost Rider or whatever, and just sort of gambit Hail Mary the entire game, every single game. And
You know what I love about that though?
What?
Is that it's content.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this guy is he's underpowered in a way that I think is hard to fix, which is to say he's strong enough to demand counterplay, but the counterplay is so overpoweringly good against him that you just end up in trouble, I think, a lot of the time. Where I can see this guy being good in other contexts, but I also think that like the counterplay to him is so stark, where it's like, I've built my entire deck to do this incredibly detrimental thing. And granted, I'm probably skimping on that with Misery. Like, I'm probably just cheating at least half of this and then Gambit on the final turn and it's fine because this is an activate, right? Like, I'm probably not actually paying the cost on this. But I'm still doing all of that crap in deck building for a 4-cost activate, which I should remind you has never been good. People might be like, Fantasticar was good. The fuck it was. Invisible Woman First Steps was good. Don't talk to me about some fucking Fantasticar. This is not the kind of thing that has been good. And oh, by the way, Fantasticar, I'm pretty sure, was better than this. If you just look at the text on those two cards, one of them has better text than the other, and it ain't this guy.
Well, okay, Fantasticar got nerfed, so
true. They definitely nerfed the problem card in that one and didn't have to nerf Invisible when First Steps later. They definitely nailed that. That was a great one. They totally knocked that one out of the park. Definitely no other changes happened to that deck. They did not have to nerf either Mr. Fantastic or Invisible when First Steps in order to bring it back into line. And I'll just say this. Now that they've done that, it would be obscenely safe to bring Fantasticar back to 4-7. They could do that and nothing would change for that card. And so when I look at this at 4-6 and I look at Fantasticar, I'm just like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying this guy. I would like to. He's a cool character. Like, just the whole concept of being like an X-Men version of Phantomas. That's cool. His whole deal where his mutant power is being bonded with a spaceship and he has a fake mother in Algeria. That's cool. All of that is cool.
What?
Yeah, that's all absolutely true. 100% of Phantom X is cool. This card is not very good, and it's asking you to do a lot for not nearly as much payoff, and I'm frankly a little bit confused that it ended up at 4-6 when they made Fantasticar the way they did.
You say you're not buying it, but realistically, you are going to buy it.
You are doing a play on the multiple meanings of the word buy here. I think, we both know you're doing that. You're very like Ben Shapiro checkmate liberals type kind of thing here. It's like, you got me. Like,
I mean, in so much as you have been checkmated, yes, I am.
Yeah, I have been intellectually checkmated by the fact that the word buy means multiple things. You got me.
I'm just saying you are in fact going to buy this card, and I know.
Yes, which is obviously exactly the context I was using the word in. You're right. That's so true.
Isn't it funny that you said you weren't buying it, but you are going to buy it?
Checkmate, liberals. Oh man.
Okay. So this is where I get to do the Sailor Moon what mask guy?
Tuxedo mask?
Tuxedo mask. That guy.
Okay.
My job here is done.
Your job here
didn't do anything.
Yes. Incredible. Do you have any messages for the shocking audience of this show? On the eve of our 52nd episode as podcasters.
If you want your life to end, buy Ball Pit.
Nice. Sick as hell. This is going to be another one of those things that Gerry tells me to do, and I'll be like, yeah, sure. And then I never do it. It's going to be, there's so many of those. Last time he was like, yo, you have to read this article. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then he was like, no. You have to read this article. And then we stayed on the call reading the article I assumed so that he could make sure that I would actually do it and not just add it to the list. You know, that's where we're at. List.
Well, it is weird that I stayed on the call with you and it did get done.
Yeah, I mean, but in fairness, reading an article is a lot less of a lift than playing a whole ass game. I don't have the attention span for games anymore, man. It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
Play games for a living.
Yeah, a game that happens in 3 seconds. I play the most ADHD friendly card game on the planet.
You know what's ADHD friendly? Ball Pit, dummy.
All right, tell me about the game.
Have you played Vampire Survivors?
No.
Do you know what it is?
Not really. Is it related to Vampire the Masquerade, or is it like a totally different thing?
No, the joke is that there aren't any vampires in the game, actually.
Oh, that
until they did the Castlevania thing. But whatever. You're a guy just on the screen, and like swarms of enemies come at you, and you start with a weapon, and then from killing enemies you get XP. Those give you like random loot drops. You get to like, you know, give you a choice of 3 or whatever, and it's like, do you want like a new weapon or do you want to upgrade your current one, right? And you just do that until the enemies are really strong and coming at you super fast.
Is this game on my phone?
It is.
Oh, okay. I'll think about it.
Vampire Survivor is. So Ball Pit is kind of like that, except have you played Arkanoid?
No. You're asking like I play things like I'm a man of culture. I play one game for 3,000 hours every year. And that's not even like, oh, I'm streaming this game. That's just what I've always done.
Oh.
That's what I do.
It was Monster Hunter, and now it's this?
It was Monster Hunter, it was Skyrim, and now it's this. I played 5 years worth of Skyrim, I think.
Arkanoid is a brick break game.
Okay.
Do you understand what that means?
Vaguely.
There are like, I don't know, brick-shaped things.
Bricks and you break them?
You shoot them with balls.
Yeah.
And the balls bounce off the things and come back to you, and then you shoot them again.
Oh, God. There was a game like this that I played forever when I was a kid. Yes, I understand that.
That is probably Arkanoid.
Was it on a Palm Pilot?
Arkanoid was like an arcade game.
Yeah, like I don't know what it was, but like my mom for work would have Palm Pilot handhelds, right? Like this is like the OG handheld before smartphones existed, right? And so my only game system for a significant period of my life was her old Palm Pilot, which had a game like that on it and a game called Space Trader, which was the greatest game of all time. It was like a text-based RPG. That shit was the bomb. That is, you just like, you'd go around planet to planet doing like arbitrage. Like you'd buy things at price X and sell things at price X. You'd run into pirates. You'd run into cops. You could choose to fight or flee. And there was like occasionally planets would like have like quests for you to do or whatever. But most of the time you were just spreadsheeting. I am 95% sure it's a German game because of course it is, right? And this to me was the shit. This was like
word.
When I was a kid. I don't know how old I was, but it was not that old. I was in for some Space Trader, dog.
Well, Ball Pit is like the Palm Pilot dialed up to infinite, and it's dope. And it was like 15 or 20 bucks. It was pretty cheap.
Solid. That makes sense. I just realized that I've been running on my low fan speed. which means when I picked up these, they were red hot. These are like my fidget things. They were sitting next to my computer. My computer, I'm going to tell you the temperature of it right now. I just turned on the big fan. It is currently at 91 Celsius. That is
Holy shit.
That is what my laptop is on. Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's always like that unless I have the big fans on. Actually, when I stream, even with the big fans on, it's like this.
I have this thing which is just like a keyboard. I don't know if you can hear that or not.
I can hear it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a fidgety thing. Like I could keep in my pocket.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I have my fidget things are these little guys, which I don't know if you can hear the sound. Nope, not at all. And these are of course the world's smallest magic decks, sleeved in.
Hell yeah.
They're sleeved in sleeves for stamps. And that makes me destroy them a lot less. They are my traditional shuffle tool. That's what I have. You know how mad I was when I saw Ben Brode already went on like a commander show and did the world's smallest commander deck? I was fucking pissed. I was like, dude, I could have done that. God damn it. He stole it.
You still could.
I
don't be the second guy.
The problem is there are so few small cards that you're really limited in your choice of cards, so it would kind of be the same deck, I fear. All right. That's, I think, going to be it from all of us. We might do a KM episode at some point. I know we've pitched the idea of it. I am unsure if I will commit to that, but I feel like ethically I should commit to it before I force Gerry to commit to a Gerry-sode. So I suspect that seems like a thing that I will eventually attempt to do sometime in the next 52 episodes of this podcast. Seems good?
I'll be here.
Can I? Seems good is lingo I picked up from Magic players, by the way. Is there like an origin for that, or is that just like it's just such a useful phrase because it doesn't actually commit your belief to it, but it has the connotation of like, oh, yep, all right, nice, but you're not actually saying anything. It's like a very like guarded phrase, you know?
Yeah, it's versatile because you could do it when something good happens for you, and you're like, well, that seems good. And then your opponent blows you out, and you're like, seems good.
Yeah. It's such a, but it's so guarded, right? It's like, it's almost like if you went into the tank and were like, what is it I can do to maintain my ability to socialize with my opponent without giving away any information? Seems good. Like that is almost like that is how I conceptualize. Like that's how I think of seems good, is like that's probably why I got it from, because like I got it from some player who I have no idea how good they were. I was terrible at the game at this time. Some guy at my LGS who was like good enough to like travel for tournaments or whatever. So anywhere from not good at all to like quite good, no idea. And that's where I adopted seems good from. And I imagine that there was some calculus of that level that went into it.
I think it might have been like ethically positive baby whining.
Ooh, that's interesting. You think it's like just a way to cover up being mad? Like you get blown out and you're like, seems good. Seems good.
Yeah, seems good.
Seems good.
Seems good.
No, he was always very even keeled about it. Like this is the guy I got the impression that it was like, I'm calculating how much I am able to be sociable with how little I want to reveal any information. Like it's if my reaction to everything is the same, I'm not leaking anything. You know what I mean? Like that.
Like they tap out for a Bramble Elemental. You say seems good, untap and
Doomblade it.
Kick a Ribbons of Night.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
It's 5 mana, kill your thing, gain 4 life, draw a card. Best possible card.
I think a fun game would be like you name a card and describe the card, and I have to guess what year it was good in. Like, I think that would be a fun game where it was like you just like you have a list of like 20 cards that were good in their context, and I just have to guess what year that card was good in and like what format that card was good in. I think that's good
Well,
content.
do you know the card Bramble Elemental?
No.
Okay.
I just assumed from context that it was like Thorn Elemental.
It's a 5-mana 4/4 that whenever you enchant it, you make 2 saplings.
I'm going to guess 1998.
No, it was Ravnica.
No shit. Man, 2003. That's crazy.
Ribbons of Night was the best uncommon in Ravnica Limited. You can quote me on that.
Come so far. Like, that is... When you describe that card, I just instantly, I'm like, okay, is it better than Spirit Monger? And I'm like, no. And so it's like, it must be pre-Spirit Monger. Like, it must be.
Bramble Elemental is a 5-mana 4/4. So
it's worse than Spirit Monger.
It's also a common.
Well, I don't know that.
But
it
like,
could be anything.
But if they tap out for it, you're like, oh shit, a 4/4, you know? But it also has this extra thing.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, seems good, and then you untap and just blow them out.
Is Ribbon? I know the answer I'm gonna get. Ribbons of Night is, of course, sorcery speed.
Yeah.
Old Magic Limited is so ass because the best card will be like 3BB, the worst sorcery speed removal spell you've ever seen in your life. Well, no wonder they did Fire Design.
Was a common in that limited format.
There's a lot of things people knock the Fire Design thing for, but not having the sentence, the best card in this format is 3BB sorcery speed removal, be true. That's a really good thing.
It was 4B. Oh. Okay. And it killed their thing, gained life, and drew a card. That card would be good by today's metrics.
At sorcery speed, you think so? I guess it probably would.
Yes.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be the best card in the set. And I think that's I think that's a meaningful improvement in their direction, where it's like previously it's just like, this is defining of the limited format. And now the things that define the limited format are like, I don't know, dumbass mythics that have huge bodies or whatever. I think that's just better.
Tomato.
Tomato Ozai. You know?
Yeah.
You mentioned that card earlier. I looked it up. I just assumed that card would cost like 8. Doesn't. Like,
yeah, 6.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, it's this giant 7/7 trample haste upside. Or it's not 7/7 flying haste upside. And it's just like, oh yeah, it probably costs like $1 billion. Nope, costs 6. just 6U, 7U to the dome. Also, I have infinite mana. All right, cool.
That's that shit'll kill you.
That's sick as hell. You talk about Fire Design all you want. That shit rocks. Game's ending is so sick. This is why Marvel Snap is such a good game, because those games end. Like, that is the core conceit of Marvel Snap that I love. Is the game ends. Boy, does the game end.
I think that tournaments that come down to like sudden death, you know, like if you're in a single elimination situation in Magic, I think those are really stupid. But I also think that if Magic were just a 10-turn game, that would be dope.
I kind of agree. Like, Magic should just have like a 10-turn limit. Oh man, that's sick. Did you all right, I don't want to keep you here, but I'd like to introduce a CEDH topic to you. Just the professor at Tolarian Community College did a documentary on Jesse Robkin at the PT, and the quote tweet I saw of it was some like CEDH podcast that was like, this will never happen for CEDH players, but it'd be really nice if it did. And it doesn't happen because, quotes, reasons. And it's like, I just really appreciate the rhetorical flourish there, where it's like the implication is that it doesn't happen because like there's a conspiracy against CEDH. When like the actually like, yeah, there are reasons why it doesn't happen, and it's because more people care about the Pro Tour than CEDH. Like that's like,
Yes.
I love that. I love that rhetorical flourish where it's like you imply a grander thing happening, but then if anyone asks you about it, you're just like, well, the reasons, like I didn't say what the reasons were. I just implied them, right? And it's actually your fault for reading this wrong. That it's perfect internet posturing, and you can really see why that person is so good at CEDH because that is a skill set that lends itself to the format.
Yeah.
Like you nailed it.
You read that
dude.
tweet
Like,
and you're like, this dude's a threat at CEDH.
yeah, this guy is a killer. Like that is, I see you, brother. I see you. I know I see the skill on display here, and I just want you to know it didn't go unnoticed. But yeah, that's really. I just wanted to like put a little CEDH bookend on a year of podcasting. I think that's the best way to do it.
Well, Jesse is dope, and also Niall shot.
Yeah,
I think most, if not all, of the footage for that. So
yeah, I just like it killed me that the quote tweet was that. It was just like you're obviously a really good CEDH player. Like the way you were able to set this up, that's
and you the way you say it.
Yes.
Like you say it like that, and they're like, "Oh, thanks, man," and you're like, "That wasn't a compliment." And it all comes back to
now I'm a good CEDH player.
Yeah, it all comes back to like seems good, and hey, maybe Cam, you are a good CEDH player. You don't know it.
Well, seems good. All right, y'all. Have a good one.